Welcome everyone to FPL Tribe. My name is Anuj, and I'm still figuring out what to really make of the next 8 game weeks. We are sitting currently in the midst of our last international break. I have two free hits in my hand. Free hit, game week 30, I was somehow able to kind of maneuver around. Saw a drop of 10,000, and now I'm sitting at 68,000. Now, for me to really, take help from people and from the community to really understand when to play chips. Not that I have a lot of chips left. It's just two free hits in hand, like I said. But there are a lot of in the community who still have there are 3 or 4 chips left in hand still, and they would love to know. And there are a lot of double game weeks coming as well in our path towards game week 30 at the end of the season. So for this, and it's a very special day for FPL Tribe, we have our first ever guest who have agreed to come on this show, and and these are the guys. The reason I obviously kind of am more than pleased to introduce them is because they are literally the newest on the block as far as FPL Twitter is concerned. And I thought there's something different to these guys. Yes, they are. It's more than one. So let me just get them on board. Let me introduce to the FPL Boys. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Anuj. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you, Anuj.
I'm really looking forward to interacting on this session. So I'll start with Aakash. Aakash, how is either of you can start. How did this group come together?
Okay, so about the FPL boys, all 4 of us are passionate United fans, as our Twitter handle also says. And we met on a WhatsApp group that was formed for Manchester United India. And Aviral were the first ones to be added on the group, and then we started adding the mutual friends that we had. And Aditya got added a little later, and then Ramu also joined in. So this WhatsApp group started somewhere around 2015, and we have been interacting quite a lot after that. So we were always playing FPL since 2015. Since the group was formed, we formed our own league, and then we were generally competing within ourselves. We did not, care much about the overall ranks that we had and all that. Last 3 years, I think that we have started taking FPL a little seriously. And last year was a grand year for one of our group member, Aviral. He finished with a overall rank of 297. And he's in the top 10 for US as well. So that gave us the kick that we wanted. This year, I have been doing pretty well. I am in the top 10,000 for now. And that's how I think we started interacting a lot, the 4 of us. And then we thought that some of the suggestions we were, giving each other would be beneficial for the FPL community as well. And that's the idea what we had, that let's just start helping the ones who need help.
You guys came in February 2022 on Twitter. There are a lot of accounts, with all due respect, there are accounts which are like, you follow me, I'll follow you back, and so on and so forth, which is fair, there's nothing wrong in that. There's no right or wrong way to really build your following. But the one thing which really struck me about you guys was, the interaction. And obviously since the time I hadn't even started following you, but you were literally all over the place. And I said, who are these guys? FPL Boys. What's the significance behind this name?
I think we took a bit of time to actually finalize the name, because we kind of initially were thinking, okay, we might need to bring in United into this name, and probably because the love for United tops everything else. So we thought maybe we want to bring in United as well. But then we thought, why just restrict it to just United? And then the boys keyword was something that we used to call ourselves in the group whenever any chat used to happen. So then we thought, okay, that's one of our most commonly used words. So why not just make that our handle name?
Let's talk about how you guys are as FPL managers. Ramu, what's your style of play?
So again, for me, being very honest, I do not follow a single strategy at all. Mine kind of is very dynamic, to be honest. And what I basically do is I try to watch most of the games and then see, okay, what are the players that are having most of the impact, and then I come back and see, okay, what kind of ownership they have, what are the other managers doing. And I think I've mentioned in our first post as well, where we introduce ourselves, that I, for once, I mean, we always joke about it as well, but I always want to put differential captains. So I remember putting, I do not go with the flow, as in I do not keep like Salah captain for all the 38 game weeks as such, but then I want to put in like different captains so that because we never know when the captain is going to be differential, right? So I love to take chances and walk away from the crowd. So
when I'm, you must have seen in our weekly threads as well. So we generally suggest like 5 or 6 players from midfield and then 3-4 from defenders. So how we arrive at those players is basically what I follow in my strategy as well. I usually shortlist a list of like 7-8 players based on stats. So that is based absolutely on stats. How they have been performing in the last 5 games, last 6 games, the opponents that they have, and how attacking they have been, the XG, the XGC, everything. Once I have that list, then when I have to decide which one to choose and which one to get in my team, that's when I go back and watch all the games, watch all the highlights, and then I trust my eye the most when deciding amongst them who do I want to get in my team.
Yeah. So now, okay. So this was a thread written by you guys. I think on 25th March. It has been received well. This is obviously a picture taken from yesterday, so I'm sure that the likes and things would have gone up as well. It's your pinned tweet as of now. You guys can start.
All of us decided to take a 1 week break in the because of the international break, but then FPL is FPL, and then we saw this discussion going on in the community regarding the chip strategy for the business end of the season now, because the last 8 game weeks are left. So then we started going into we started reading a lot of threads, and then Pras and Sonaldo did a really good burning.
Yeah, that was a crazy session.
Yeah. So
it was the longest session I've ever really sat down and heard every minute. It was amazing.
Right. But the points that they raised were absolutely critical. The discussion between 33 and 36 free hit was one of the best that I have heard. Maybe let's look at the chip strategy of the top 10k. How much are left for them?
Okay. Before that, you want to just kind of go through this checklist.
What we highlighted in the thread and the major points going into the business end of the season are basically that free hits, it cannot be used in 2 consecutive game weeks. So if I have used in 31, I cannot use in 32. 3 big double game weeks are bound to happen. We are still saying it bound because we are predicting it. It's not finalized yet. 33 is finalized, but we are not sure whether it will be in 36 or 37, which Manchester City might double in 37. So it's a bit in the air. Yeah, it's a bit in the air, but there are going to be 3 big double game weeks that we are going to see. Burnley are likely to have 3 double game weeks, like we had mentioned in the thread as well, between 31 and 35. And apart from Burnley, I think Leicester City also have like 11 games to play in the last 8 game weeks. And then the 2 important things for game week 37 is the FA Cup final, which might impact the double game week for Chelsea, because they might have 4 games in 10 days gap, and we know with the manager how much he likes to rotate the team, right? And it might be a fight for 3rd and 4th position, but I think he will prioritize the FA Cup and the Champions League if they get to the semi-finals and the finals, and then the Europa League final in the midweek of 37 as well. So that is something to keep in mind.
Okay, let's look at this first.
So Leicester, Everton and Burnley are the teams to play 11 games in the last 8 game weeks. Then we have Arsenal and Chelsea who play 10. And then we have a huge line of teams to play 9. And then finally Leeds, Wolves, who are going to blank in 33 as well. They will have like 8 games left. You have to, because it's the business end, you have to, buy the best players from the best teams. So we are not saying that ignore Manchester City or Liverpool just because they have 9 games or 10 games in hand. You're not going to do that. But apart from that, Arsenal and Chelsea, they have 10 games. They can be kept in, in your radar. Then you have Leicester mid, like Maddison and Barnes are there. Some news came about Dubravka that he might be fit for 31, but for now he is flagged. So a good, replacement for them might be Pope from Burnley. Because now we're not planning for the next games, right? We are planning long term now. We just want, because all of us don't have like 3 or 4 chips left. Most of us have like 1.5, 2 chips remaining with us. So we need to plan long term from now. We are hearing
31
that
obviously.
Chelsea, if Chelsea they go out after losing to Madrid, they might double in 34 as well, or maybe in 35. So
Correct,
and even
correct.
I think Villa is also going
Villa
to double.
Burnley, yeah, Villa
Villa
and
Burnley.
Burnley as well a chance. 34, yeah.
Right.
What chips are you looking at, Ramu? What are you left with?
Yeah,
What's your strategy?
I have a free hit and a triple captain left. So we have been discussing before before we send it out to the community in our group. We kind of keep on discussing as to what our team should be formed and all that. So we have been discussing since long. So I was very, very tempted to actually put in my free hit for game week 30, but then I decided against it. I took a hit and brought in a couple of players, but that paid off because my returns were quite good. Probably, like we've mentioned in the thread, I think 33 and 36 is where we are eyeing that at. So my team as such is built according to this fixture run-in that's coming in. So I have a lot of Arsenal, Spurs, etc. But then, like we mentioned in the thread, in case the Spurs players aren't performing really well, probably we might drop a couple of them. So
Triple captain, I'm assuming, will be 36.
absolutely.
Yeah, because 33 as a game week does not.
No, it's not appealing much.
Correct. So
Right.
I think the bottom half of the team have more fixtures rather than the top 3, top 4.
That's correct.
Akash, what about you? What chips do you have, and when do you intend to play it?
I have a unique combination left. I have a triple captain left and a bench boost left. I'm almost certain that I'll use my bench boost in game week 36 because just as a FPL player, I like having, and in the last seasons as well, bench boost has been a very, very profitable chip for me. It has given me a huge upside in the ranks, right?
Right.
When I read in the community, a lot of people, use words like get rid and of the bench boost before. I am, quite bullish on bench boost, and I like having around 12 to 13 double game week players when I use my bench boost, and that's why I'm quite certain I'm going to use it in game week 36. Yeah, and what's a good thing to see here is like around 84% of people have wildcarded, while bench boost has been used only by 53.
Correct.
In the past seasons, what we noticed is usually when we wildcard, after
The
like
next
1
game
or
week
2
is bench
games,
boost, yeah.
we
Yeah.
use the bench boost. So this is a thing that we noticed here.
Because this is also a function of how peculiar this season has been because of
The
so many double
postponements.
game weeks, because of the COVID postponements and so on and so forth. It has been a real challenge, but I think it's been fascinating this season till now, just because of the different curveballs being thrown at all of us. So let's talk about free hit 33 versus free hit 36. Ramu, you have one free hit left, so this is more prevalent to you. Obviously,
Yes.
Akash, you guys have written the thread. So what do you feel? Free hit 33 versus free. We just said that it's very obvious that we should play triple captain in 36, but why not free hit?
Again, that's entirely dependent upon the fixtures, like we mentioned.
Right,
So,
right.
in case that we see the fixtures that are currently confirmed for the 33, again, it's confirmed to be a double game week. And the teams that are playing in there, I think it's a good time to load on a United asset. I'm hoping the likes of Sancho, etc., come into form, and then we really cannot forget Cristiano Ronaldo as well. So it might be a good chance to welcome back some of my United players back into the fold. But
No, United, they play Leicester 31, Everton 32 away, and 33 is obviously double, which Norwich and Liverpool. So if you forget the Liverpool one, where I'm not saying that that 5-0 is going to happen again or something. I'm sure this is happening at Anfield, okay, which is fine. But 3 out of the next 4 fixtures are with against defenses which are the worst 3 defenses.
Because of the captaincy options as well, right? I mean, 32, Manchester City and Liverpool are playing against each other, So there are very, very less options left for captaincy. So why not jump on a Bruno or a Sancho and then just captain them?
Yeah, 32 captaincy will be interesting because I think Spurs are also playing Aston Villa away. So that's one game to look at for captaincy. And obviously, I think United you might get a lot of captaincy on United player.
United, and I think Rafinha as well. Rafinha is playing Watford in the game week. So Rafinha might be a shout out as well. Also Saka.
Yeah.
Saka, they are playing, I think, Brighton at home. The discussion that we were having on free hit in 33 and 36. So firstly, it's all team dependent, right? There is no right or there is no wrong per se. It's just opinions that we share. But it also depends on how many free hits you have left, right? If you have just one free hit left, you would obviously want to, and no other chip. If you have just the free hit left and not the bench boost left, you would obviously want to, neutralize the impact that the bench boost is going to have on your team, right? Because if the bench boost pays off, then you are going to have a huge drop in your rank if you do not have a free hit or maybe any other chip in hand for 36. So if you have just one chip left, then you obviously it's like you can use it in game week 36. Also because Spurs, they do not have a very good game week 36 games, right? Both the games are tough for Spurs. And based on their form, you can just remove them and have, double up on maybe Chelsea, City, and Palace also. Palace also has a very good...
Palace's run starts well from 33.
Why I wouldn't maybe free hit in 33, there are pros and cons as well. Pros bringing in, Leicester and United assets, which we maybe do not want in longer term. But then in 33, the single game week players also, and most of them who are already in our teams, they also have a very good single game weeks. So that just put us off the free hit 33 a bit. But if you have two free hits left, then free hit in 36 is certain, and then there is a discussion to be had between 33 and 38.
No, I'm liking 38 a lot. Arsenal, Everton, United, Crystal might be a little tough. Tottenham, Norwich, City, Villa, Chelsea, Watford. So these four games, and Liverpool, Wolves. Though it might be a tough one, but I think Wolves by the end of the season they would be done.
Also because they start at the same time, right? So
correct.
You might get some team news before that. There might be injuries leading up to 38, and then we might come into a situation where the first and second are already decided in the league. So that's why
Leicester, to be honest, Leicester plays Southampton, and Southampton away is the second worst defense.
Yeah.
And Leicester, they score. Whether Vardy is there or not, they will always score, and they have always scored as well. So communicated with a few people in the community, and they said that 38 people might be rested. Some players might be rested. There might not be anything to play for. But I have seen at least for the last 3-4 seasons, Klopp doesn't rest anybody in the last game, even if the season is over.
No.
I'm sure Conte will not rest anybody in the last because I'm sure top 4 fight will still continue, even if it does not. Yeah. If it's a home game, I don't think they're going to play a B-string side. Chelsea is Watford. Now, this is Chelsea's last home game, and what's going on with the club right now, I don't think he's going to play a second string squad. So 38 is not bad at all.
They would want the fans to be happy and just get in the positive vibe in the club.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. And usually these big teams, if they are playing at home in 38, they usually try to end up with some style, with a good score. 36 as a free hit double game week for big teams. So you anyways might have these 6-7 players from City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, not 6-7, maybe 8 or 9.
And there'll definitely be some teams who actually want to get out of relegation as well. So they will definitely be putting in good performances. So
see, I think next 5 game weeks, nothing is getting decided. Neither the title race, nor the top 4, or nor the relegation. After that, yes, there might be some kind of clarity that yes, this is decided or not.
On the point, for game week 36 free hit, when you were saying that we'll already have like 6 to 7 players from the big teams who double, right?
Yeah.
So the counterpoint can be that because a lot of people will be bench boosting, right? So the whole budget will be spread out amongst the 15 players to have the 15 fit players to play in the bench boost, right? Mm-hmm. So it will be very important to find that right players, and Late Riger also highlighted this yesterday in FPL Bois pod.
Right.
that it will be very important to find that right fit of players for 36. Just to balance out the 15 players with your 11 players, but you having the right 11 players. That will be very important in game week 36 if you are not bench boosting.
I think people who are left with wild card, I personally feel 34 is the best game week.
It is the best, yeah. Just dead end your team going into 33.
Correct.
Get in Leicester assets, United assets, maybe a Wood, striker. And then come game week 34, you might get in players from Manchester City, from Palace, who have a great run after that. So yeah. Wildcard 34 is a sure shot. To just summarize the chip strategy, and again, it's team dependent, but what our opinions say is that if you have 2 free hits left, you can use it one either in game week 33 or 38, and then one in 36 you can use to just balance out the impact that the bench boost will have on your rank. If you have 2 free hits and bench boost left, then free hit in 33 and 38 and bench boost in 36. That is what we suggest. I know there is a discussion between bench boost 33 and 36 as well, but we personally like 36 as a bench boost option. If you have only 1 free hit left, you have to save it for game week 36 because just to balance out the impact. If you have only 1 free hit and 1 bench boost left, then free hit either in 33 and 38 and then bench boost in game week 36. If you have only 1 bench boost left, then game week 36 is the game week for you. Bench boost and triple captain left, like me, then I'll be looking at bench boosting in 36, that's for certain. And triple captain is a little bit up in the air. I might do it in 37, might do it in 34, based on how Chelsea play against Madrid.
Right.
And then if you have only 1 wildcard left, or if you have wildcard left along with any of these chips, wildcard is to be used as from our side. It has to be used before game week 34. You basically dead end before 233 and then just use your wildcard after 34.
Alright, we'll get on with our last section, which is the quiz for all us FPL nerds. So I will ask you, so there are total 6 questions, so I can start with Ramu, so 3 questions each. Okay, the first question is, can you name the top 5 players with respect to FPL points? Top 5 players.
This season would be definitely Salah, Kane.
No, Kane is not there.
Oh, Trent.
Yeah.
Son.
Correct. That's to be honest, that's the top 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not if not Kane, then Robertson.
Robertson is in top 10, but not top 5. Come on, there has to be a City guy.
Oh, Cancelo.
Yeah. And fifth is a tough one.
No, it can't be.
I'll give you a hint. He's injured. Currently, he's injured.
Ramsdale.
No. He's from a London club. Currently injured. A club which is fighting for top 4. Might not get top 4, but might get Europa League. Jared Bowen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
We pretty much ignore West Ham.
Exactly.
Because of the last season, right?
Now, Akash, which of the following statements are true? Robertson's ownership is more than Simicas's ownership.
Yeah, true.
Okay, it's false.
But because you asked, it should be false. Yeah.
So Robertson is at 9.7% and Simicas is still at 10.7%. Can you imagine?
Bench fodder.
Demarai Gray has more goals than Richarlison.
Gray and Richarlison.
We all remember how well Gray started.
Probably equal. Maybe Gray just leads because
it's not equal for sure, but somebody is greater and somebody is lower.
Yeah, I would go with Gray.
Yeah. So Gray is 5, Richarlison is 4.
Yeah.
That shows how bad a season Everton is having.
Terrible.
Till game week 30, Ramsdale has had the highest number of saves. Is it true or false?
False.
That's right, but do you know who was the number 1 with highest number of saves?
I hate to say it, but is it De Gea by any chance?
Second highest. He's the second highest.
Oh, okay.
Is it Leeds?
Leeds, yeah. Meslier, Leeds.
Oh, Melier. Melier.
Yeah. Melier, sorry, whatever.
Yeah, right.
Okay, it's a United question. So, okay, first, the easier part is, I don't know if that's easy or not. How many goals has United scored till now? Okay, it's a very random one. So they've scored 48.
Okay.
Now, any guesses on the split of how many goals they've scored home and how many goals they've scored away?
I think they scored more away. Yeah, they scored more away. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
60-40?
24-24. It's 24-24.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now that's not the question. The question is, okay, which is higher XG? Home XG is higher or away XG is higher?
Home XG, definitely. I think home XG, because of all those games in which we missed those a million chances. I definitely think it is the home XG. Yeah, Watford, absolutely. Shocking game.
Yeah.
Shocking.
That's right. So I think home XG is 28 and they have scored 24, and the away XG is 22 and they scored 24. So they've been quite clinical away from home. All right, guys, any last words for the community, what they can expect from you till game week 38? What else are we expecting?
Yeah, I think what we have been trying to do is to be as regular as possible with the content that we are providing. Of course, there's a lot more stuff that is coming up from us. So please keep connected. And I mean, from our end, because we are in different time zones, we kind of divide the work amongst ourselves. Like, okay,
yeah, which is a huge plus point, right? So
yeah, so we kind of try to make it, make it as active as possible from our end. Of course, we are also fighting our regular day jobs and doing all our hustle in between. But again, we try to find as much time as possible for the community.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that thank you everyone from the community for giving us the love that we have received in the first 1.5-2 months. Just keep supporting us, and just drop us a follow at FPL Bois if you haven't yet, and we'll try and keep delivering the best content from our end.
Community should really, obviously, I don't need to say it. I can see the number of followers, how it's going up, and obviously it's genuinely going up because of the, I think, interaction and then the content that you have been creating. So keep at it. Your FPL Boys the word need to be spread around more. And looking forward to more content and working together in future.
We hope that your channel also grows, and you also deserve a lot more followers. So
thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.